Hey, everybody. Welcome. We got another week down. Let's see here and trying to see if I can get everything set up. And we'll do it this way for right now. Okay. So it's been a bit of a wild week for the Tikva family. Yeah, it's been a bit of a wild week for the Tikva family. Oh my goodness. Earlier this week, we had a bit of a moment where we thought our youngest, or one of our youngest, our youngest, sorry, kiddo, our middle child, we had thought she'd broken her hand playing softball. Pretty good softball player. And in any case, we thought that, oh no, she may have broken her hand. Playing too hard, I suppose, which is good. She has a good time doing it. So, in any case, so there was some scares. Yesterday was a bit of a trip to see if it is or it isn't, and so some hoops you had to go through. The good news is that it's not broken. It just needs healing and all those types of things. There's been a few other things going on. Shouldn't say wrong. I didn't. Freudian slip. There's a few other things that kind of happened earlier this week as well. And first, well, I was gonna say, so I did a few live streams, and one of the things that happened is that I'm using a new software, and this new software is, I think it's, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, trying to use a new software so that I could play music at the same time as streams and those type of things, and kind of mess around with that. And give me a thumbs up if you hear audio okay. So we shouldn't be on it right now, and I should be good to go. Just a double check. Yeah, we're good to go. So looks like we are. So in any case, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Because the past few streams, one of them, it was just, there's no audio whatsoever. And I have this fun little mic, and I have a few things, and you're just like, seriously, is this what is happening? Which is fine. That's okay. No big deal. Things happen, right? And we work through them. The other was that last week we hung out with Danikis, which was an awesome time. There's so much to kind of learn from his enthusiasm, excitement to be able to not just do amazing art and do art that is meaningful, but at the same time looking for ways to be impactful in people's lives. That's absolutely incredible, and I shouldn't say rare in this day and age. I think it's something that is in the process of being reawoken, so to speak, in our time. So thank you, guys. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You can hear me. Appreciate it. The other is that it is so anyway, we hung out with Dan Ickes last week, had a really good time, just kind of hearing his take on things and hearing his perspective. You certainly need to check out his YouTube video and his YouTube channel, I should say, with all that. Try to think of other things. Oh, some really good news. We're sitting currently we've just passed, today was the mark where we've just passed into the 3 weeks left in the crowdfund, which is, it's been a long, feels like forever ago that we started this crowdfund, right? And so it's been a long road. Here we are, and the really cool thing is currently, as I looked at it prior to, we're sitting at about $240 short of the goal. So 3 weeks to get to that, which roughly about 5 or so people, and then 5 plus there, give or take 5 to 7 people jumping into the crowdfund, which is absolutely phenomenal and exciting. So round of applause to everybody that we're almost there, which is absolutely exciting. And then you can see here that last week, right here, so you can see on the screen, my screen that I'm leaning over right now, that I was hoping, because of all the other things happening this week, it's just like there were moments of like, am I ever gonna have a breathing moment to do some of this? And the other thing is that you do need time to be able to step away and, be it hang with family, decompress or de-stress, all those types of things. So I hope to get past this stage per se, but you can see I did get a bit further than well, earlier today. I was just like, oh man, where am I going to be at with this? So in any case, here we are. And so I'll talk about a little bit about that, a little bit about the process or where we are with that. We also other kind of tidbits and some good news is that everything for the most part has been flatted. We need to go back through and do a little bit of cleaning up. And for those that don't know, in terms of a flatting process, because it'll take me about 3 to 2 weeks to really get everything colored as far as all the pages go. We're currently sitting at everything's inked, which is absolutely awesome. Thank goodness. So we've gotten past that stage, which is really, really good. And that's exciting. And which is also sort of a perk on the, and a few of you have already gotten that, which is also really cool as far as those pages. So thank you to those individuals. The other is that, what was that? I lost my train of thought for a second. What were we talking about? I told you this week was a trip. It was a trip. I was talking about getting further on this. So I had hoped, like I said, to get a little bit further along with this particular poster. But I think one of the things is that I've taken a bit more time than I usually do. Because a lot of times when you're going through the flatting, thank you. So one of the things I was going through along that is that when you go through and the flatting is essentially, see, I've lost my train of thought, is all over the place today, right? The flatting, we'll get there and we'll get to the poster here in a second. The flatting is basically a way so that you can select portions very quickly. Not only block sections off from, so for example, I'll bring this up full view to make that a little easier to explain. Okay, so if you can see my mouse here, we're going to zoom a tad. So for example, when we do flatting, you're basically, there's lots of different techniques behind it in terms of just going from as far as like your, I don't know if you can see my mouse all that well, but basically, for example, this whole group, you would basically lasso this entire group right here. And that would be one section of the flatting. And then you break it up by individual. And then you can get even further where you go on by like, hair, skin, clothing, different types of clothing, guns. And you kind of break it up piece by piece from there. Anyway, we're moving along on that. I do have someone helping me out with that, and which is absolutely awesome. So thank you to that individual out there. You are massively appreciated. I couldn't do this without you. Just the other sort of bit about all of this sort of thing, I think I wrote in my blog post earlier today, and then that went along. It also that went out as an email as well, of just that importance of having that community. For example, the community that helped my daughter, for example, just having those individuals that directly helped us out was absolutely amazing. It was such an awesome experience. It's awesome to have my middle child to go through that, in a sense, not the pain or not the getting hurt, but just the experience of that community surrounding her. Absolutely awesome. Way cool. And that's kind of the concept behind it. And I just, that community concept is so incredibly important. I can't repeat it enough. Can't do this work without you. And it just, the appreciation that I do feel that all of you have shown. along the way. There's so many of you that have either jumped in a live stream or been able to contribute to actually, just being not like just the encouragement, but also different critiques and those sort of things that have massively helped out, because we're not meant to be alone, if you will, even though in a lot of ways this past year we have. But I think more than anything is that realization and reawakening our I suppose that purpose, right, of connecting with one another and finding new relationships, finding new opportunities, those types of things. That's kind of my shtick and spiel. I think those are all kind of the big things I wanted to talk about. One thing that I'll say is that feel free as I draw and get the rest of this finished. I hope to be done with this by the end of this day. Yay. As far as this stage, I hope to also, hopefully I can show that to you too. I have the paper ready. And so we're going to print this off and then send it to, there'll be very little type pencil. I'm almost doing the type pencil in here, basically on this device, which one thing is that shaves off time, right? But then I will, as I'm printing that off and get all this done, we'll be ready for the ink stage by the end of this live stream. I hope that's the plan. That's the goal. And let's see here. Oh yeah. One thing I wanted to say is that if you have any sort of thoughts or ideas, throw out your comments, throw out your just sort of like any questions you might have in the comment section here on YouTube. If you are viewing this off of my website, you can hit the title. If you move your mouse over the video, hit the title at the top of that video, and you'll send it to YouTube so that you can make comments. How much more needed? Let me show that. Yeah, so how much more needed? Thanks for your question. So I'll just keep hitting the button here. So we're looking at $240 left short. So we're really close, really, really close, which, that's awesome. I'm absolutely blown away by that. So anyway, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, we're that close. So, which is really cool. And of course we're about 3 weeks out. So, and that's the other thing. I've learned so much, just not the fact that we have put this on our own platform, but just this is my first quote unquote, crowdfund. I've learned so much, just not only about myself, about different ways we can do this next time, all those types of things. But yeah, no, we are making bank. And that's the other cool thing, is that regardless of whatever happens, this project has been an absolute amazing success. So anyway, we're well on our way. Let's see here. Yeah, keep throwing out your questions, and I'll do my best. I wanted to talk about this too. So one thing is that I have trouble. I'm kind of the individual that basically it's hard for me to walk and chew gum at the same time. It's hard for me to draw and concentrate and do on that. But anyway, that's my own issue. That's not your guys' issue. You guys are awesome. I like hanging out with you guys as I do this. But I was going to say that I ran into so one of the things I do, one of the topics that came up last week with, one of the topics that came up last week was the music thing. And I'll talk about your comment here in a second. And is that music is such an important part. When I'll listen to the music as I'm drawing, all that sort of things, and it kind of gets me and I've picked almost a playlist, or I've started developing a playlist that is specifically The Last Colony. Kind of one of the ideas that I want to do as this goes out and you guys finally get it, late August, which is hopefully the time frame, depending on how long the printing takes. But that's our estimate. In any case, we hope that when we release that and you guys get this comic book in your hands, all this type of stuff, that we want to release kind of our playlist for this chapter, and just kind of that I don't know. There was a CD when I was a kid. I think it was called like a Celtic Tale, and you read a story with that Celtic Tale, and the story, there was each of it like a chapter or a section of that story corresponded with a particular track on the CD or that sort of thing. Anyway, it was such a cool experience to read each portion of that story based upon whatever track that was. And you just, anyway, I kind of want to do the same thing. What I'll end up doing is this will be posted on the blog more than likely, type of a thing. But anyway, that's kind of a side note. And I found a particular artist that really just kind of like, yeah, Tony Anderson. If you haven't heard of him, I should post that up in here if I have a moment. But in any case, Tony Anderson, I think that's his name. You can look up on iTunes or some sort of thing like that. Really good, epic music. So yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, anything that you can do. The biggest thing that I would say with that, I'm going to say her name wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, Yazable. Yazable. Hopefully I did that right, buddy. So one of the things is that if you could share this video, this would be awesome. That would be like top priority for me. I think that's just sort of a thing of like, if you could share and share the love and one for another, that is more than enough. And like I said, I've been incredibly blessed that we've made it this far. So way cool, and congratulations on you guys. So yeah, let's do. So drawing, here we go. You can see here, I do have off to the side. All right, you can see that little gun hand. Because hands are absolutely, they can be a bit of a trip to draw. So the other thing is I try not to, this is about as much as I like to zoom in, if at all possible. So, and then I also have up here. So anyway, usually what I do is I don't know if I explained this before, but I have my references off to the side so you can see the gun I was referencing for this one right here. And then off on the other side, there's our AK platform. Cool little suppressed dealio going on. And I ended up, one thing I wanted to share with you guys, I ended up moving her, I think her gun was a little bit more to the right. Yeah, her gun was over here somewhere. It was floating over here somewhere. And I had moved it over and just made it look much more natural, like she's turned to the side. And we obviously get that she's feminine. I didn't necessarily need to show her chest there. So that just seemed more. And then it kind of blends in nicely with this. But I like, I don't know, I try my best to capture the with these sort of like this for a drawing. It's kind of, I think this is the hard part, and at the same time kind of the fun part, is that you go through the entire project and you're working on your entire project and you're working incredibly hard to just, because I've tried my best to, you know, Jamie's the one with the hat forward, Cobb's the one with the hat backwards, he's got the Indiana Jones hat, that type of thing, Abram here. And then Captain, as we've been naming him, I think I've let it slip on one podcast or another, so it's all right. It's no big deal. It's not a huge spoiler per se. But Tristan here, or Captain Tristan here, with our little scar here, and then Gwen with our turkey / hawk feathers. More of hawk feathers, not turkey. She's not turkey. Bit of a hawk. So, and then I tend to spend a lot more time just massaging some of these. And the other part of this is that it's really kind of shown me just how at the beginning of a project, you're trying to, you're maintaining this continuity, right? From one character to the next. And their looks and, from one angle, side profile, all this types of stuff, which is kind of the challenge of drawing, right? And drawing comics in particular from one panel to the next. But the thing is that's really, really hard is that when I look at the work that's behind me, right there, I'm not saying check out these guns. I'm saying guns out, suns out, right? Suns out, guns out. I'll get backwards. Suns out, guns out. No, these guys. So this poster behind me is that, or the cover for the book. I look at that and I'm like, oh wow, that's I feel really good about it. But then I look at this, I'm just how much I've improved, and then at the same time, and I'm just using this really as an example of just that perseverance and always finding new ways of improving and growing and never being sort of never being just, I don't know, what's the word for it, just complacent. That's not quite the word I'm thinking, but just some sort of thing where you're just not sitting aside and going, but you're just always looking for ways to improve. So that's kind of a fun thing where you can see this and then you guys are seeing it. And then you look, just that always improving. I can't say that enough, the importance of that. So anyway, I'll stop yakking for 10 seconds so I can draw here. But yeah, drop your questions, all that stuff. Interrupt me. You're more than welcome to interrupt and send out your thoughts. Oh man. Get that hand in there. I know hands are kind of a pain sometimes. They're just a massive pain. Probably what I'll do so I don't mess up, because Jamie's all on this one layer. I'm going to put a layer right above that. And I can kind of work around that. And I can also do this too. Drop that intensity down. Yeah, see, I did this hand on a different layer too. There it is. I feel pretty good about that gun hand there. Whoops. Put it at different opacities there. Don't want to do that quite yet. There we are. A little better. That way it makes it a little bit easier to see some of these things. I think I shared this on with Dan Ekus, just using, what's his name's? Matthew Matisse, drawing force. Really cool techniques if you haven't checked that out. The other thing is that I found myself wandering through YouTube, and you start, all right, what are proper ways of holding a rifle? You go down the rabbit hole of that and all the gun dudes out there. Different opinions on that. So, that's part of the rabbit trail. This kind of all goes down. And he doesn't have in this some sort of front post, I guess. What do you call that? He doesn't have that. So, oh, see, count my fingers here. There, don't look too bad. We'll do it this way. I'll draw. I'm a huge fan of this, of drawing, even though I probably need to fix that. Something feels off there. But drawing up behind things, or anytime you can draw around past your borders of your panel, that's a huge, huge thing. If you can draw past the borders of your panel, you're doing pretty good. That way you can, if need be, like I said, this is on a different layer. I can move this around however I need to. If it's not quite to my liking. So that's one thing that's kind of nice there. But yeah, drawing behind the panel or drawing past, because his hand will go back behind as if this post is right there. And then again, this is just a reference here. And I might, if you can see here, because I almost want, looks like a shorter barrel here. So I guess his hand, trying to think, because that's the other part too, is that if I would, you're holding this. And so I guess I have a shorter barrel, some sort of thing. You're going to be a little bit more like that. So it looks and feels natural. Yeah, I'm just using this previous as almost a guide. I'm not, and I am looking at this reference just to kind of see how those folds are kind of doing their thing. Yeah, don't look too bad. Guess that is just a point of reference, because your shoulder is almost going to be right here, which is obscured by the sort of thing like that. Guess I don't want my elbow flaring out. He's got his elbow down. I don't know. These are the things I think about. The other thing I've been doing, which is certainly, it's a good de-stressor, but it's a drain on time. But it is, we'll call it research, right? Right? We'll call it research. We just keep telling ourselves, anytime we do something that's like, yeah, should I? It's research. It's where I'm playing this game, absolutely brutal, Escape from Tarkov, and it's the most brutal game I've ever played in my life. Anyway, one of the things is that it's kind of inspiration. We'll call it that. That looks pretty cool. I need a. I think with anything, as long as and one thing I like to do is I'll listen to like, whatever it is, like your scripture studies, or you do like your, what else do you have going on? Any kind of audiobook. The problem with audiobooks, I tend to spend way too much time Um, has to be a particular book, and I just I don't know. I'm a more of a big fan of like music works really really well for me, especially music regarding like this particular project or that same thing. It just makes it much easier to work with. Nice, happy with that. I might. Yeah, we go back. I don't know if it's the right size here. Feels like it is, but feels like maybe the episode with Seinfeld with the Seinfeld goes on a date with the woman with man hands. Anyway, funny stuff. Let's see here. Don't a little different. Looking for that sweet spot. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Fixed. And we'll clean up some old marks. There we are. Except that looks too much. Looks like a glove. There we are. Nice. I think only thing might want to keep these up for is I was looking at shadows and those types of things. I think that might be. We'll look at that here in a second. We'll look at that here in a second. Let me do a little bit. I want to do so. Kind of what I was thinking with this is I didn't want to do a whole lot of detail here because when we go to, I want this kind of juxtaposed between these two as far as different flat areas. So that would be kind of cool. And then that's happening here so that these kind of, there are two girls here kind of pop out in front. So let's see here. 1, 2. Ready low on something. Always something, right? Always one battery another. There we go. Not like too bad. Not too shabby. Nice. Nice. It's good now. I think we want to tackle that because I want to put a little bit of information back there, but I don't want. This wearing a vest here. That mole system. Mule. Mm-mm-mm. Says we're using your lasso is kind of a big deal because then you can section off things. Don't. There we are. The other thing is that this gives me the ability to plan out a little bit more. This is actually one reason why I suppose I'm doing it. One way of doing this. Like I was talking about, where I'm spending a little bit more time, but it gives me kind of an idea of really easily and without, because inking is probably one of the hardest things. There's individuals out there that they just get it right from the get-go. Some of you inkers out there, some of the inkers out there have phenomenal handwork and working with brushes or that type of thing, having incredible control over their line and use of line, all that type of stuff. And there's certainly some individuals that are really good at that, just really next level. In any case, this is kind of style I like going with. But there's a a few artists, I suppose, like myself, where it's more of I just and call it a beginning step or not. I don't know if it is or isn't, but it works for me, and that's kind of the step. But this is just how I ended up learning is that going with that looks pretty good. So that kind of sends that back to the background. Um, going with a like I've tried like the pen and the quill, and I like those type of things. Um, there's definitely you can get with some inks, you can really get some nice blacks, and that's certainly useful. But in any case, one of the things is that by doing this sort of stuff on here, you can quickly, if you don't like it per se, it's just as easy as getting rid of that layer and then going from there. So that's something that's kind of nice about that. And then um, really just gives you a little bit of almost I don't know peace of mind because once you once it goes down to paper sort of a thing, that's it. It's with the inking, it's done. Combine those layers. I think. um, Sure. Not too bad. I use the lasso tomb, Tomb Raider it lasso tool all the time. Speaking of, I watched what, what was movie was that? Um, the original, the not the original. We won't go back that far, but the I guess when was that made in the early 2000s? The Mummy, Brendan Fraser or whatever his name is. Is that his name? Anyway, that's kind of cool. Had a good time watching that. The others was like they should have stopped when they had a good thing going. But there's of course there's rumors that it's actually good news. There's rumors, and I don't know R2D2 for life. What do you think? But hearing rumors about George Lucas getting involved in the Star Wars trilogy, producing it even. Oh my gosh! Hey, you know what? After the last whatever the heck happened, I think I got to scream too bad about it. It might actually be a good thing. But we like George as many as many mistakes as he's had. And hey, I mean that's the sort of the thing, right? Is that we're all we are all infallible. We're not infallible, right? We've all made our horrific mistakes in one form or another. Have really paid for them. Cool. Actually, what I'll do, a bit more of this down here, and it'll fade out. Yeah, when it comes to working or talking, a bit of more of a worker. Getting this done. I guess, was it the producer of Indiana Jones 5 kind of mocking the fans? Who knows? I don't know. I don't pay attention to that sort of stuff. But the anytime I was like, yeah, you're just griping at the fans, we're gonna make something for another group. Fine, whatever. Don't bring ditch the prom date that brought you, right? So I guess I blanked out with whatever the heck he said because I was just like, wait. I'm stuck on the fact that you're making an Indiana Jones 5. Why are you doing that? Kathleen Kennedy's last hurrah, I guess. Yeah. Nice. I'm kind of happy with that. That turned out. Nice. I think I'm happy with that. And I think what I'll do. That arm pop a little more. Cool. I think I'm happy with that. Another one done. Let's do this. Nice. Simple enough. There, like her the vest she's wearing, like a plate vest or armor plate carrier or some sort of thing. Might get too much of a tangent going on there. Excellent. One down. Another one down. Let's go back to him. Only thing is, let me do this. I'm gonna go back to Jamie. I was looking at his gun just now. Let's see here. Do, 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 do. Let's see here. Any way we can add depth, kind of experiment. Safe space to do that. This in. Again, I'm doing a different layer, so I'm not screwing with something I'm not meaning to. This way. There we go. There we go. Yeah, sorry guys, my brain's kind of full this week. Trying to think of anything else that happened this week that kind of a big thing. Keep hearing rumors of Matrix 4 or some sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. Think that is good. And the other thing I can do is I can go back later on, and then I can, when I go in the actual inking stage, I can go, yeah, no, this isn't working, or I can change all this sort of stuff up. I'm pretty happy about that, though. Be happy. Let's see here. Oops. Okay. Let's. I feel pretty good. don't need to add. I feel pretty good about him. Oh yeah, I need to forgetting this. There we go. No. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about the I guess I talked about it earlier about I can talk a little bit more about it. So I had bought this audio that would be able to let me play music and do um, music that I've licensed or has been licensed to me and all that sort of stuff. And I it must not work well with I use StreamYard for my live stream stuff, and it must not be something that they might not like. I guess I don't know, and I don't know. I a lot of for my more for my art stuff, for my technical stuff. PCs are fine, but like for my just having a computer that you're not having to tinker with all the time. Um, Apple is the way to go, right? My perspective. Anyway, if you work with Apple well, or if you work with PC well on your, fine, whatever. But anyway, I guess it just doesn't work all that great. um, I need to look up something here. It just doesn't work all that well with um, this particular app with StreamYard. I have no idea why. I had not. So because I was trying to. Yeah, I don't know. What app is that? I gotta look it up. Oh, Loopback. There you go. Loopback and StreamYard do not play well together. Avoid that one. I want to do. Let's see here. See if we can. So I have a whole list. I have a whole list of um, references that I can kind of use and um, yeah, folds. Just trying to figure out folds because so there's several different types of folds. I guess I could talk about this with you guys. So there's a few different types of folds you can kind of work with, and so folds you either have sort of this in this particular case with his arm right here. It's more of a where you have pipe folds, right? And pipe folds are that sort of drapery where that would be more like your pipe fold, right? Um, and then you have in this one, it's more like that accordion. So it's making more of that Z sort of shape type of a thing. So anyway, it gives me a little bit of a reference point to kind of clean some of this up and give it. But I still want kind of that gesture feel too. I don't quite lose that. Some of these lines I kind of really like. Hmm. Hmm. Don't know. Oh, the other thing you're always looking for, especially at this stage, because you're right. You're about to go to, print it off. You can still fix it in the inking stage, but finding tangents, because see how this one particular line, if I'd go with it, runs right into her shoulder. I don't want that at all. There we go. And let's see here. Do. Yeah, man. Go. That's the other thing. Get out your pad and paper too, man. You don't have to draw with. You're drawing with me. Oh, I love these S types of curves here, because then you can do this type of stuff where your eye will automatically connect the two. So cool. Your mind actually will, connecting the two ideas, and so cool. Subtle stuff. And see, my wife will come on and she'll say, "You didn't say a whole lot this stream. Things to do." You get caught up, right? Well, hopefully, like I said, by next week. I just don't like that. Looks like this made me think of. Here, I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's see. Let's see here. Snow White's little thing. Jeez Louise. I can't. Here, we'll do one more layer of this. We'll get rid of this. There we go. Now it's Snow White's little. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, come on. There we are. That's too good to be true. Better. There we go. Not too half bad. And then I'd like to try to get him done for the end of the stream anyway. Minimum. I felt really good when I drew this hand. I was like, ooh. No, I felt really good about it. So sometimes you just lay in pay dirt, stuff like this. Are we on his? Yeah, we're on the gun right here. Oops. No, that's not working. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. Let's see here. And there's gonna be usually that when you have a crease like that, it's going to create some sort of type of fold right here. The other thing is I don't have to once I go to ink this, I don't have to stick with any. This is where like because when you're going to inking, one thing that I found is that it really brings out any mistakes, any of your like your anatomy issues, any of your things just really get um, any of the issues that exist. They just really start to show up. in the inking stage. Um, and that's so this just gives us just a little bit of that problem solving, I suppose, so that you can kind of work through some of those things prior to hand. Like, yeah, no, this maybe his mouth or the eyes. Like I've moved around her stuff. Maybe her eyes aren't big enough. Maybe this one's too big, and you can go back through and do all that sort of stuff here. But and correct some of these things because this is not by any stretch of it. It shouldn't be. It's not something like we're tracing over that sort of thing. You're actually um, you're deliberately problem solving through some of this stuff. So it gives you um, a little bit of a way to work through some of this. I think. Do, 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 do. I do have bring up that. There we go. Well, another thing that is kind of a nice technique too is to break up some of like I was working on this and then it's hard to especially when you're working long periods of time, you can get easily sort of I shouldn't say bored isn't the word, but you can easily get um, just kind of strung out because it is. I mean, this is it's like oh, you're just seamlessly doing it, but it's a tremendous amount of work, right? And so you one thing that you can do is to kind of break up some of that monotony is actually going through and break up that space is that you can actually go through and work on one portion or another portion of the work. You don't necessarily have to stick with one particular portion. Kind of let it move all over the place so you can. Yeah, I'll let you go. So then you can really kind of can break up that time that you're spending on it one thing and you're not just running. You can some people if they'll work on one portion and get that up to a quality, work on another portion. Some people like here what I'm doing is just kind of going one piece at a time, but I'm still trying to move all over the place because there's like a moving from one section to another section. One thing that does is that helps you understand a little bit more what you have going on because then you can go back through like with these shadows that sort of thing as you're adding these shadows you want things to come forward and so for example with this it really puts this brim right here really makes it pop forward and we can do some things in color to make that even more so but it's things like that. So like this space really right here really makes this him pop forward in front of all of these others here. And we could even go a step further with the same thing about on Tristan's shirt right here. Maybe we will end up doing a little bit of all this right in here just to make him pop forward because right now which we might be able to do with maybe his gun. Maybe we keep his shirt a little bit more white and we make him a little bit more dark. When I put in his beard, it'll automatically do that. So I these are kind of the problem solving things that I kind of go through. I'm not necessarily just talking about right now. And so that just gives it a little bit, hopefully that makes sense. Cause then that way, because I want this to pop, really to pop forward. And I don't, he's left handed. He left handed. He's no, and he's doing it like this. He's right handed. So I need to, that's a different layer. Oh, yeah, his gun layer. There it is. I should combine these two because we're getting farther enough along that we can. Um, here we go. Yeah, because we might find out here in a second. I don't need to darken up his shirt because his beard's going to be pretty dark here in a second. Um, nice. We're going to do that part right now because I don't want to. I want to see what that happens when we add him on there because it's going to make him really pop forward. Kind of really blend in here. Let's kind of see what happens here. It'll look good. This is part of that. This just oh, good catch. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll darken up the gun. That's exactly what we want to do. Then I'll make him pop up and we'll darken up his hat. That's exactly what we're going to do. The other thing I want to do is add a little bit of features to his face anyway. So make him pop. There we go. Blend into his beard a little bit more naturally. And then the other I want to do. Let's see here. I think. Yeah, there we go. Nice. That looks good. Yeah, that looks nice. Feel a bit like Bob Ross right now. That nice little tree right here. A nice little tree needs a friend, a family. Let's see here. Family of trees that you gotta say it. It's kind of funny. You gotta say it in a funny little voice. You have to say it. It's just like- oh, that reminds me. So my kids are watching this anime series. They can text it in, whatever. I can't think of it. And one of the characters is supposed to be this 11-year-old boy, right? Which a lot of times when you are in cartoons, there's a lot of cartoons where, a female will play a boy character, whatever. It's fine. In any case, it's funny because it sounds like this little boy has been smoking just packs of cigarettes since he was like 2. And you're just like, I don't know what they do in Japan, but I'm sure they don't. But God, it sounds like this little kid has just been smoking, and then to come to find out, no, that's actually a woman actor that's doing this, and you're just like, hey, you know what? It's fine, but I'm not trying to make a comment on anything. I just think it's funny that. Hey kids, don't start smoking yet. Or ever, really. It's not good for you. I just that looks nice. It's something I've never done. I've plenty of mistakes in life, but I've never gone down that rabbit hole. Let's see here. It looks kind of awkward. I'm looking at that spot right there. Doing this and it just kind of holds your back. It's like this. This would have been higher. This would be higher. It has to be. It has to be. See if I have a reference because I think that would be higher. It should be higher because that's way too low. I mean, you're holding your. It'd be higher. It's not comfortable. Oh, I hear the death grip. Comfort. It's all about the comfort. See if I got a reference in here. Surely I do. No. Ooh, nope. That's why references are so important. I have this massive amount of one actor, I guess, in a military garb. Ooh, there we go. Give me a good angle. So this is not remotely close, but it'll give you, and then, to see how this part right here goes up. And I really wasn't. There we go. See, it's just little things like that of having a reference for and looking up something, upside down. That's another thing. Sometimes, you're drawing like this, or, the other sort of thing you can do is that you can flip the whole canvas, and sometimes you'll see that on videos where they're working from an entirely different angle. That's also equally helpful and really, really quite useful. That'd be another thing I would suggest. Just so you can see it from a different perspective. And it really does make a difference. I guess. Let's see, just Lift it off. I do like how that looks. Yeah, that works. That works. Worry about the shadows here in the gun in a second. That's again part of that. You're just gonna off of other things, and then I'm gonna do a similar sort of thing with this, just so I make these two ladies here pop out. Nice. Want to do almost wanna. You always go back. I think I like that. Do the same sort of thing here. Yeah. There we go. Actually, I will be a little bit more messy there because I need to zoom in. Looks like he's wearing an apron. Or a dress. That's okay too. Oh man. Here we go. I think I like that. Nice. Yeah, we'll add a little bit of nice. Now I just need to go through and we're gonna add another layer and we'll pop in this, make this gun look nice. I'm gonna use that reference again. Go with that one. Bring this back up. Oh man. Oh man. Pop that in. There we go. This is gonna look nice. I need to yeah, I do have a separate layer. We're gonna do that down here a little bit. I'm not gonna do too much. Follow that contour. And I do want to do this here on the top as well. Because I want this really needs to pop over Tristan character. There we go. Nice. That looks nice. Oh man, I was thinking about Yazable's comment here. I'm waiting to donate to increase the suspense. Yeah, absolutely. Hey man, do what we got to do, you know, and that's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Hey, it's a suspenseful adventure, right? Twists and turns. The love stories tend to be as battles and fights tend to go. Think it's going to go one way, and then whoa, it goes a totally different way. Nice. I think that will work out. I'll probably have to. Yeah, I think that'll work out great. Tim really pop forward. Cool. Well, we've been going about an hour and a half. That's about I yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not very talkative today. But you know, it happens, and we it's fun to hang out with you guys. It's exciting to think just how far we've come, and just on just how far we've come, and just to think that we're 3 short weeks away. I'm going to keep working here and getting this done, and then I hope that what we'll plan on next week is that I'll show you the next week. It'll be a little bit less crazy. We'll show you the inking. I'll show you that real quick, and we'll get to coloring on this thing, which is really what I'd like to be doing. That's kind of the plan and the goal that I like to be working on. Get this inked and then colored for you guys, and then have this flatted. Hopefully by the next time we see this is all flatted, and we'll really start cracking this thing out and really wrapping it up. And then what I want to do is I want to take it to so some of my favorite movies are movies that leave you with a cliffhanger. And what I want to do is I want to take this as far as I can with you guys, and then I want to hold off from showing you this until you get it in the mail. So that's kind of my goal and my plan with this. And so I'll show you up to right to the edge, and then we'll knock it out of the park when you get it in the mail, which will be pretty cool and fun. So I like kind of doing that kind of stuff. Gifts, right? I think that's it. Share if you've hung around this long. I'd really appreciate you guys. If you like, subscribe, all those types of things. Certainly want to invite you to check out the website. Let me get there. As far as, so if you go to ElijahLoving.com, you can hit the patron bar. Otherwise, go to patron.ElijahLoving.com /The Last Colony. It'll send you right to the crowdfunding page. And there, I think, where we're at almost 93%, which is absolutely fantastic. Here in short 3 weeks, we'll be at that $3,425 mark, which is absolutely phenomenal. If we can go beyond that, that would be really cool. But first things first, 7 people is what we're looking for, and then 5 to 7 people thereabouts, and a day at a time. That's what this is all about. Like I said, as far as a community goes, that's been this theme of this week: the importance of having that community, and the need that how do I say this? The need that we have for each other, and the importance of having each other, I should say. That would be a better way of saying it. And so you guys are awesome. I really, really, really appreciate you. Again, I couldn't do this project without you, and it's certainly fun to share that with you and share this whole thing with you, and have you guys be a part of it. So I hope you guys have an excellent, excellent rest of your day, and we will